This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. Sing, record.
3, 2, baby.
Oh, I smashed his little face. He's deformed now. Yeah, just 3, 2, 1, and there's that effect shot from. Is it? Oh my God, The Reanimator. What is that movie where the guy's desk, like, news anchorman head explodes? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right.
They also do something similar, I think, in UHF, that Weird Al movie.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a play on the one I'm talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's during, like, the Rambo scene or something.
Ryan would know. He's
Ryan
the Weird Al expert. Yeah.
He is.
Can you explode your head for us, please? Can you just explode your head? Oh, please. Please, can you just explode your head? That's what he sends in all the time.
Yes. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
Hello, Jamie, baby.
This is, we're recording this 2 days after we recorded the Solar Power podcast and 1 day before the Solar Power podcast releases, because Brian is going to Hawaii next week. That's supposed to sound a lot dumber.
To Hawaii. No, I don't
Look
like
out
that
for
one.
sharks.
Dude, I know, like, there's talk of, like, surfing lessons, and I'm just like, I'm not a tourist. I never want to do touristy thingies. Like,
what do you want to
go
do in Hawaii? Yeah.
I want to go see the nature. I want to just see like what people are doing. I don't want to like.
So
I don't know.
I don't know if this is like the correct way to do it or whatever, but my family took me to, like, we all went to Hawaii in high school at one point, and we did 1 day of Honolulu tourism shit, like where we just walk around, go to all the, I don't know, touristy things. We got the touristy, you know what I'm saying? And we got the touriz. Well, we're gonna make that a thing for sure, people. And but then we spent the, like, next 5 or 6 days or whatever, the rest of the week on Maui, just chilling, just being, and that was much more memorable and much better. Just going and existing in places. And even as, like, a 16-year-old, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty nice. Just sit around.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Alora and her family are just all, oh, hey, let's go to Pearl Harbor. I'm like, God, you want to?
We did do that too.
You want to go to Pearl Harbor? Is that a thing people do?
All you do is you stand there and you look down and go, oh, yeah, boats that were once not beneath me are now beneath me as of 70 years ago.
Well, it's like, you know, I find that, like, decaying.
Hey, just to be clear, I understand the importance and the whatever. Okay, shut up. Anyway, continue, Brian.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is, like, for me, I don't know, man. I don't love society. I think we all know this.
I don't love war.
Yeah, and I really don't love war. And it's like I want to go to this place where a bunch of people died over a war that, like, shouldn't have fucking happened in the first place. Right. And, like, I don't know. That's
such as
I'd kind of rather go to, like, the bits of Hawaii where, like, I can just see what, like, the nature is about and, like, what the people are actually doing. Not the
I think it'll be something that you won't regret if you don't do it, but if you do it, you'll be like, oh, I'm glad I do that, you know?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm excited to go see my... That's a fun little factoid I realized. I've still never been to the tropics. Or tropical climate. The closest I got was in Spain on the Mediterranean coast. That was, like, kind of tropical-ish.
Oh, that's
but
right,
because
we already figured out that I've been to a place that you haven't.
Yeah.
And that's bizarre and remarkable.
The thing that's funny for me is that I made it to Arctic tundra and I haven't made it to tropics yet.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
I've been very cold, Mr. Freeze, etc.
I got snowed on in July.
Whoa.
But yeah, so it'll be fun, I think, you know. I just don't want to be a tourist. I don't want to do the touristy things. Hello, baby.
Yeah, he's decided that oh, yeah, it hurts when you hit your head on the microphone, doesn't it? That is funny. Anyway, do you want to do the podcast, I guess?
Let's do a podcast, man.
I'm excited for your Hawaii.
And I'm Brian.
But yeah. Thank you. That was good. That was a good. Now I have to. This is my third podcast I've recorded this week. So here we go. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm here to show my good buddy Brian the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial Airdate order. Oh, you already said it. Oh, so he may view these shows or human beings experience them in the far gone days of the 1900s. At the time of this recording,
10:42 a.m.
10:42 a.m. Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max.
My dog.
Brian is holding up a ripped Comcast tag that now just says Comca. And available on DVD and Blu-ray.
My other dog.
Yes. If you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watchdcau. Links in the show notes. Today we're watching Brave New Metropolis. Whoa, that was the right note.
That was the right
note. Your prediction last time was that Lex Luthor doing a big bad and turning Metropolis into Gotham. And I said that was pretty much as close as your guess about solar power being Superman goes to a dark place and loses his strength. So,
which is a thumbs up.
On the right track. Yeah, I still gave you a C or whatever. This first aired Saturday, September 27th, 1997. At 8:30 a.m. on Kids WB with an exclamation mark. I've forgotten to mention that most times, I think, is that you got to shout that one. Kids's, because it has an apostrophe at the end. Mm-hmm. Kids, it belongs to the kids. It's Kids's WB.
I feel like this could be a POV thing too.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Kids WB.
Yeah, not POV. Yeah. This aired one day after our last episode, Solar Power. The 25th episode to air and the 25th episode to be produced.
Let's get drunk.
It's the same. Yeah, let's, in honor of Hawaii, let's get drunk.
Well, I mean,
honor of Pearl Harbor.
The 25.
Oh, I know.
You know. Okay.
I get it.
You're there. You're a man.
I'm drinking coffee because it's 10:44 a.m. now.
It is.
Written by Stan Berkowitz, who previously wrote The Way of All Flesh, Two's a Crowd, and The Prometheon.
Okay.
Directed by Kurt Gaeda, who previously directed Lasak, Feeding Time, Stolen Memories, Tools of the Trade, Livewire, Identity Crisis, and Target, the bad Luminous episode.
But also some good episodes.
Yes. No, just focus on that one. Music is by Michael McQuistion, who previously composed 11 episodes of BTAS, as well as Lasak Part 2, Feeding Time, Stolen Memories, Two's a Crowd, Buffed Part 2, The Prometheon, and Speed Demons. And animation is by Coco Dong Yang once again. Previously animated 42 episodes of BTAS, as well as, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 episodes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 episodes of Superman. Yeah. That is the one counting Sesame Street song that also sticks in my head. And for whatever reason, the other ones just are like they come up when he watches Sesame Street on occasion, and I'll be like, no, these aren't as good. Even though I think the one that we know there is from like late 70s, early 80s or something.
Yeah,
and it
probably.
Just kept on going for a long time. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so catchy.
They knew they had a hit on their hands.
I need a dubstep remix of that. Somebody find me a dubstep remix of that Sesame Street counting song.
There has to be some sort of drop before the bass drop, like some sort of quote before the bass drop. I don't know I don't think there's any other lyrics to this
11,
song.
12.
Yeah, just so 11. No, that has to be a part of the whole thing. I don't know. Someone submit a dubstep remix.
Wait, who's our sound guy?
Yeah,
Shit, let's write that down.
Hip hop guy that does the predictions, or at least did twice. You're out there somewhere, I know it. Give us another one.
Why can't I remember? I guess there's a lot of people that comment, but
there's a lot of people now.
I feel like I should know this.
I can't possibly remember every.
Are we going to have name tags on March 9th at the Kerns Art Center
totally
in Big Bus, Oregon?
You may put your real name or username, whichever you feel more comfortable with.
Or both.
Yeah, both. Because this was 2 days after we recorded last time, we still don't have any coffee people to make us do push-ups. So another whamp, 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 another sad, but that's okay because I don't really. I'm kind of locked in here. I've got a child in my lap.
Yep.
But you, if you want to give us coffee, and listening to this, you can head over to the link in the description to send us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode, and we'll also do a push-up for every $1. So send us coffee for our health and your entertainment.
Also, it's not like we don't actually go out and maybe we should sometime, but we don't go out and buy coffee with this. It's more like, oh, bills, cool.
Yeah.
So you want to help us pay our bills?
We already have a coffee, and whoops, we couldn't afford it. So can you help us out? Damn it! I did it again. Someone bail me out of this situation. Go to buy me a coffee, whatever it is. All right, we got a special guest coming on today after the break, after the little clippy poo, and so we're gonna go watch the episode to talk about it. And here we go.
Bye.
So I am Lois Lane, but I am not the Lois you knew.
Ever since she died, I've wondered if there were other dimensions out there, other versions of me and you.
Hold it. I may be a lot like your Lois, but you're nothing like the Superman I know. He's no tyrant.
I had to take control. There was no other way. For too long, I fooled myself into thinking I was doing a simple cleanup job, that if I did enough good, people would follow my example. I didn't realize it was a war. And suddenly, you were a casualty of that war. And I knew I had to stop it by whatever means possible.
You did this because of me?
You never knew how I felt about you. I never knew. Till you were gone.
You could have said something. We could have talked about it, figured it out. Now look at you. Married to Luthor.
I needed someone with the organization, the technology.
But Luthor?
He just takes care of the day-to-day duties. He knows that if he ever tried anything, I'd crush him.
I hate to disillusion you, but he just tried something. He tried to kill me.
Hi, Ted.
Hi, James and Brian.
Ted. He
Wow, do you love
loves New York.
I do.
Don't
love
even
New York.
explain it. Just let us know how much
do.
you love New York.
I like to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Right?
Yeah.
Same.
Yes.
I've not been to New York City, but I've been to the state one time where we did laundry on our way to a different state on drum corps tour.
Oh, you got to go to the city. Last time I was there for a film festival, I ate nothing but cheap euros on my way back to my hotel at midnight. That was the only food I ate for 3 days.
European currency?
Yes.
That's a weird choice.
Jay.
No, sorry, gyros. Gyros is how you would pronounce
You ever
it.
have it? You ever have a fucking gyro?
What, they don't like falafel? Hey, we would just watch Brave New Metropolis, and Ted has to tell us what it's about after the little song.
Sing up, if you're wondering. Sing up, what
I love-
You just watched.
I
I love that everybody dances.
Take a listen to the
Synopsis.
the short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
You
I
did
love
it. You
that.
got it close enough.
Yeah, I didn't sing the whole thing.
No, well, you sang most of it.
I just sang the parts I wanted to. It's first, it's a joy to be here. I'm Ted Kendrick.
I was going to say, who are you?
I'm a participant of the Watchtower database. I write and produce some of your favorite videos. Most recently, the Blue Beetle video, the Demon video.
Oh man, I can hardly wait 6 years from now. It's gonna be
Look, Brian,
great.
what we're going to do is eventually I'm just going to go to your house and I will be like, we're going to watch 50 Watchtower database videos in a row right now.
Oh, that's going to be a grand time.
No way, man. Not a chance. I'm watching that on my own time.
Brian does know I am the face and the voice of Dr. Manhattan as well.
Yes, true.
I
Brian
was there.
for
And the
that
body.
part. Yes, and the body.
The rest of it.
Also the feet.
But
The feet are not part of the body.
We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about fascist from the Brave New Metropolis world. I even signed in. I don't know if you noticed my Zoom name today.
Brave New Ted.
Yes.
That's why it took you a second. Yeah.
I had to type in some extra letters. Yeah. No, okay. So what happened in Brave New Metropolis is Lois is hanging out for some reason at Professor Hamilton's lab.
Yeah,
I guess he's showing off. He's showing off his new tech. I guess he's like, oh, let me bring in the journalists. Let me show you this new technology that doesn't work. It's just static, but let's play with it. And so then she's like, no, it's working. There's like cracks on the glass over there. And then she gets too close and it sucks her through the portal. And then she winds up on the other side. And oh yeah, Jimmy was there too. But she winds up on the other side.
Every episode.
Jimmy was there too. So she's on the other side and nobody else is there anymore. And the whole place is destroyed. And she walks out. She's like, oh, well, Metropolis is still there. So then she wanders downtown and she runs into Dan Turpin, who's wearing a nice, like, sleek black fascist police
Nazi
uniform.
Suit.
Yeah, Nazi suit. Yeah, he looks. I mean, like, even the symbols, like the lightning bolts
It's
on
totally
there is like
half of the whole SS thing, right?
yes,
Yeah, we'll
exactly. yeah. Not to get distracted, but yeah, they're not. It's not. It's on the nose. Yeah, it's not subtle. Yeah. So anyway, Dan Turpin's about to arrest her because she doesn't have her papers. Again, not subtle. And and so, but then he gets distracted by an explosion, and over there you've got Jimmy Olsen with this gorgeous long red mullet
and not so gorgeous patchy shitty facial hair.
Yeah, and a trench coat, and he's leading a group of people to steal stuff from this place, and Lois gets wrapped up into it. Then when they get back to the safe house, Jimmy's got kryptonite, and he's like, we're finally gonna take him down. And Lois ends up leaving, getting recognized, and taking to LexCorp. I'm probably skipping a beat.
You're skipping a couple beats.
I'm skipping a couple beats. Sorry, I do remember.
They defeat Lex Luthor and he dies.
No.
There's something else in between.
Let me back it up and say there was a really cool sequence where we first meet Superman and he emerges out of the shadows and he's got the same black suit and that creepy SS logo and the music goes into this like dark rendition of the theme song. That's just like super cool, but super and like epic all at the same time.
Brian's guess last time had been that Lex Luthor turns Metropolis into Gotham.
That's kind of right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's not too far off. And then when he does burst through the wall and those guys are trying to laser him and it's not doing anything, I swear the Batman theme does play for a second. It has like a do thing as he like comes through the...
Yeah,
I was like,
it
what?
did. Yeah.
It's him! Blast him! Get him!
I mean, and the architecture of this world is a lot more Gotham-like, because it's this, like Germanic Art Deco style.
Yeah.
It's not subtle.
Germanic, you say?
Yeah. But yeah, so Lois is on the run, and I just watched the episode, but I forget exactly when she gets scooped up and taken to LexCorp. But I know she gets scooped up because she's recognized for being Lois.
Yeah.
And Lois in that
you're supposed
world
to be dead. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
She's supposed to be dead, and we never find out exactly why. But that doesn't matter. The point is she's dead.
No, Intergang blew her up in her car.
Oh,
but we don't know why that happened.
Yeah, maybe Leitner had helped him out with that or something. I don't know. That's his MO. So Lex is like, "Oh yeah, no, we got to kill her before Superman finds out, because if he finds out, we can't control him anymore." And so he's like, "All right. Mercy, don't do it here. Take her out back, and shoot her in the alley." And so,
do you want me to? Yes, but not here. And Brian was like, "Fuck her. I don't."
But not here. So they go out back to the alley, and luckily Angela Chin is crawling by
drunkenly. Oh my God.
And she recognizes her and asks for $1, and then ends up biting Mercy's leg, and that gives Lois the chance to leave.
It was glorious, wasn't it?
Yes. I love that part. So Lois is on the run, and she had already seen the statue, the double head statue of Superman and Lex back to back. But then she sees an even bigger statue that has a torso on it too. And she climbs up this giant statue and goes all the way up to the head. Yeah. And then
she's just in heels and like...
Yeah. Bad idea when she gets to the Lex side because she starts sliding down.
Oh, there's no hair here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so bald.
Yeah. And right as she's about to fall, Superman comes and he has whites in his eyes. All of a sudden, and he's like, and everyone's got these like tired lines on the whole time. They've got tired lines on their eyes. That's how you know it's an evil world, because everyone's just so tired.
There's no sleep here.
You guys, have you noticed we're all looking pretty tired these days?
Yeah,
just saying.
I know. Yeah, you gotta wonder what's going on with our world.
This is the dark timeline.
So anyway, Superman ends up flying off with Lois, and they get to the bottom of what's happening. She's like, I'm from another world, but you're nothing like my Superman, because my Superman helps people and you're a fascist. And he's like, well, I'm not a fascist. Like, I wasn't always a fascist. Like, I'm just working with Lex because he's got money and resources and he does the day-to-day stuff. And so she takes Superman to show where Lex is keeping people prisoner. And everyone there like starts throwing stuff at Superman. Jimmy throws a brick at him. Someone yells, "Where's my baby?" And
right, it's probably the lady whose baby got taken.
Yes, exactly that lady. Yeah,
he's just so sad about the baby.
I know.
Like,
I really,
that could be me.
I don't blame him. Yeah, Superman goes to confront Lex, and they go up to his office, and Lex is like, "Oh." He's all smug, and then Superman throws his desk against the wall. And
that last episode, Superman dropped a pencil on the floor and like looked around and then lifted up the desk to get the pencil. And as soon as he walked into Lex's office and flips the table, I'm like, my pencil was under there. You took my pencil. You took everything from me.
A different universe pencil.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was before the split. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, you don't know. So he throws the desk over and then confronts Lex, and Lex is like, "Oh, I'll just tell everyone you were evil and I was the good guy the whole time." But Superman was like, "No, because I already talked to the people and they're right here behind me and they know the truth." And so then Lex tries to make a run for it, and he hops in his flying little car thing, and Superman stops him. And then he and Lois say their goodbyes, and he's like, maybe in another world, could have been in love or something.
In a braver, newer world.
Yeah. And so she goes back into the portal, and regular Superman's there to greet her. And he's got like this cool kind of white, like rim light kind of effect going on with the portal. It looks really cool. And so they go in, and then Lois asks him out to dinner because life's too short.
Ooh,
and they have a little date.
You missed the point
there was a kiss.
where she kisses the alternate
she
world
straight up
Superman.
Kissed evil Superman. Yeah, Lois likes the bad boys.
Another Superman has to stand there like a cuck and just watch it happen and then go, I mean, all right, I guess.
Is it when she's making out with you, though? But it's like you.
Who knows?
It's a complicated situation.
He's just watching and going, I deserve this.
Yeah.
I guess I should dress up like a Nazi and it'll be fine.
Well, I don't know if that's the right takeaway there, James.
That's what he's looking at. He's looking at Lois making out with evil Superman, just going, guess I gotta pull out my outfits.
It's the boots. The boots.
Everybody looks better in black.
Yeah.
Right.
Black's a flattering color.
Yeah, it was a good look. I mean, other than the symbol, but like...
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the episode. In a nutshell.
Let me give you the official synopsis. It's another one sentence.
Give us official synopsis.
Lois falls into a parallel metropolis where Superman and Lex Luthor work together as dictators to hold the city in an authoritarian group of forced justice. It's an interesting...
but she didn't expect to also fall in love.
the romantic comedy trailer version. Lois Lane is about to find out. You're not supposed to drop your pencil under Lex Luthor's desk.
Never.
I could see that laid out as one of those like this summer. and you just have like Lois like, oh, what's this? Oh, the glass is broken. Like zoops through.
Yeah, that'll be the next TikTok.
In a new world.
In a brave new
Metropolis.
World. Yeah. Superman, when he got those lines under his eyes, way better looking, I guess.
Yeah.
He just needs cheekbones.
Superman, are you slightly more animated than before?
This is not exactly spoiler territory a little bit, but there might be a show coming up in the future where Superman's got some lines under his eyes that are kind of reminiscent of this same animation.
Oh.
Yeah. A little bit of a spoiler there.
I feel like it's a spoiler, but I'm trying to figure out how Superman's very tired.
Well, that actually might be the in-universe reason. We'll talk about it later.
The Adventures of Tired Superman.
So this is a good episode.
I love this episode.
This is considered by many to be one of the best episodes of the show, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why Ted wanted to be here for that, other than the fact that he has an action figure. Says Aaron.
He sounds kind of sounds like when Smeagol realizes Bilbo took his ring.
Okay, he wants a different movie. This is really important.
Hey man, whatever works.
Everyone likes Brave New Metropolis. Maybe put that on.
Hey, I know. I've already been looking at my top 10 list, being like, oh,
where's it gonna go?
I don't know. We'll have to wait till the end of the episode.
I love the multiverse thing, though.
Dude, it's cool, right?
Yeah, I've always really liked this episode. I think when we watch through it with all these other episodes before it, like, it's another one where I'm just like, why couldn't it have been TMS? Come on. Like, there's some scenes that are just, like, so awkward in how it's animated. Like, even right up top, Brian, you were like, why is everyone just nodding? Why is everyone, like, moving their heads?
There was Jimmy, Lois, and, what's the...
Hamilton. Professor Hamilton, yeah.
They're just like sitting there talking. Anytime someone's talking, their like head is kind of like going up and down and back and forth. They're like, what are you guys doing? Oh, the thing it's broken. I'm not quite sure why it's broken, but I think it's broken. It's like, stop rocking, dude. Stop it.
Yeah. It's just very basic things. Just the way that everyone's body moves and everyone's just a little bit stiffer and everyone's a little bit less well drawn, I guess. But it's just like we've talked about this many times that we're still very blessed to be going back and forth between these two animation companies. We don't have any Studio Junios and ACOMs and that kind of stuff.
God, so, I would have loved to seen ACOM do this.
ACOM Brave New Metropolis, considered the worst episode.
You see Jimmy's skin kind of falling off of his face.
His eyeballs become SS logos for a second.
But with the story, because the story is what's so interesting about it too, is that it's like, it feels like it's taking the Superman show into a direction that, like, we finally, like, we want to see this confrontation between Lex and Superman that we get at the end. It's we, never have seen that before in Superman the Animated Series. So it's, because it's an alternate world, I think it's able to, like, push things further than we would get in the regular
kill
world.
Lex.
Yeah, did they legitimately kill him? I mean, we see his, like, carbike boat explode.
Carbike boat.
He's like hitting the eject button. I don't know what that thing, like, it flies like a plane.
When he was getting into it, you're like, quick, get to the Lex bike boat plane or whatever.
The Lex wing.
The Lex action figure, I said, comes with everything you see here as he's getting in.
So I know we can't see this on the podcast, but I have this Brave New Metropolis. So I know a couple episodes ago, you were, Brian, you got the one of Killer Croc with Batman's head.
Yeah.
Same guy. Yeah. This is from Case and Piliad, Inanimate Objects. So I ended up getting Brave New Metropolis.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Dude, I'm happy to have it.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It looks like a really good paint job too. Like
the shininess of the gloves and the boots.
Oh yeah,
really good.
Speaking of things, I don't know if you can see, Ted. I got the feet of clay matted and framed, hanging up right over there in a place of honor.
Yes. For those who don't remember, I gave James and Brian's signed title cards from Batman the Animated Series. It was in celebration of you getting
finishing
past Batman the Animated Series. Yeah. So, don't expect to get one for every show, though. That's
no. That's I need less things, not more things. But that's definitely
there's no more title cards. There's no title cards.
Right?
Superman.
Shit.
I have plans for I think 2 of the shows coming up. I know, like, I'll get Brian this thing as a celebratory.
But you don't have to.
But the Superman one, I'm not sure yet. Well, I know I don't have to, Brian. Fuck off.
So I've got a signed title card as well. I got one for myself, also from Kevin Altieri, of Deep Freeze, because that's the episode that I was on for Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
Yeah.
So now you have to get a signed screenshot of when they show the title of Brave New Metropolis from Stan Berkowitz.
Yeah, well, we interviewed Stan, so...
We did.
Yeah.
You got yourself a hype baby there, Jamie.
Yeah, I know. He's rooting for me in the background. Go, do a podcast. What do you really like about this episode, Ted? What sticks out to you as like the reason why you like to talk about it and stuff?
I've always loved the multiverse stories. That's kind of it for me, and this is the first one in the entire DC animated universe. Yeah. So I think that's.
I was thinking
cool.
that what we were watching was we've had like, oh, Batman is in a dream world, or we've had like a what, Brian?
We've had Mr. Mixpick.
Yeah, but technically he exists outside of the multiverse.
Yeah, I would consider the fifth dimension to be outside all of the multiverse. Yeah,
there's differences, Brian, between dimensions and Earths.
That's
dummy.
Universes and dimensions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Duh.
I can explain it to you real quick,
but I'm just too stupid.
Quantum mechanics,
music and stuff. Totally.
No, frequencies. Yeah. So our parallel Earths are separated by different frequencies, but different dimensions are literally like, I mean, think about like a second dimensional thing. That's a piece of paper. That's something drawn 2-dimensionally. We're in a 3-dimensional world. So think about what our world looks to 4th-dimensional beings and even 5th-dimensional beings like Mr. and Mrs. Spitlick.
But
we are just a line on a piece of paper to Mr. and Mrs. Spitlick.
Yeah.
And thank you for continuing to say his name like pretty dang good.
I try. I've had Brian, coaching. I have literally James has had to coach me on how to say this.
I'm going to do it,
on previous videos.
Oh, no. Why is Brian frozen?
He slipped into a different dimension.
Or he's pulling off a really good frozen face, but I don't think so.
You can choose whether to leave this in or not, but I just want to be on the record for saying that Targets is one of my favorite Superman animated series episodes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
when you and Brian were just like, Brian literally said in that episode, he's like, someone's going to come in the comments and say this is one of their favorite episodes, and I'm just over there being like, I'm not going to do that, but it is.
Why do you like Target? What's good?
I like Lightner.
Defend
I think
Target now
as a just a premise. I like his power set. I like the optical illusions and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But I just don't know. He's I think a unique original character to Superman, and maybe the premise of the episode isn't as I haven't seen it in a while. But it might be one of those like just my memory remembers liking the character, but not so much. Yeah. It just goes to show everyone's got a favorite episode.
I guess, yeah.
Well, that's not my favorite.
I'm recording now.
Hell yeah.
So last we left off.
Previously on Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Before Brian's internet went out and Aaron was screaming and everything died.
What a day.
Yeah. Did we mention this is episode 110 of the podcast? I don't think we did.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but that seems like we're celebrating.
Yeah, it's because Ted's here. He made it number 110, not the other way around.
I wonder.
Thanks, Ted.
When you're very welcome. I'm looking up when my last appearance on Jump on the Bat-Wagon was for the Deep Freeze. Because I want to say it was like 55.
I was gonna say like,
is that right?
No,
it was 80. It was number 80.
Oh, okay. It was still a round number. Yeah, nice 0.
I'll see you every 30 episodes.
I don't think that's accurate, but it might be close. I don't know. We'll find out. Ted gave me his list of like, because we made the joke about how Ted is in where unidecker buses are, so he gets the unidecker episode, 1 episode per show or whatever. So he sent me his list of each show's episode.
I've identified every appearance on Jump on the Bat-Wagon for forever, so I know.
He sent like a crying emoji and like only 6 Ted appearances left or something.
Oh, that's sad. Can we do something different then?
Yeah, no, I told him
I could do more.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. Aaron says go.
Yeah.
Go, Ted, go.
Okay.
So, Brave New Metropolis. That's what we're talking about here today on the podcast. Nothing else.
Right. I forgot.
Well, that's the episode, everybody.
I did legitimately lose track of where we are, but of course that was like 20 minutes ago when we were last recording, so I need a hand.
Ted was talking about spoilers of cheekbones and lines on people's faces, I believe.
Yes.
But that reminded me of how I was worried that Ted was going to talk about the other time that Lex Luthor gets in this exact same plane, boat, car thing and does the exact same thing that just happened, except he doesn't explode and die.
Yes. I know better than to talk about these things.
Yeah, don't ever say that.
I was thinking of these things. I was also thinking of them.
Yeah. I get to decide what Brian can know, because he'll forget that I even said that, so it doesn't matter.
What?
But that, I mean, in that same instance, though, it's like it's just fun to see like Luthor and Superman's dynamic taken to the full extreme. It's like this is the confrontation you always wanted. They're finally going at it like superhero, supervillain, and there's no like, you can't catch me this time, Superman.
They don't have to get back to a status quo of any kind. They can just do whatever. Yeah.
I kind of wish that they went something more than just like, oh, Lex has got kryptonite, and Superman can't get him if he's got the kryptonite. And just like, yeah, we get it. Like maybe like Lex saw this coming and had like, what if Lex had like a kryptonite laser gun, or like what if he had like a elaborate pirate ship situation set up, or like anything, it's like I think he's smart enough to know that like things could go wrong. Okay, how am I going to deal with Superman? And like it happened to be because he got the kryptonite rock from Jimmy Olsen. Really? Like that's as far as we're going?
I mean, this is not the spoilers, not the last time we'll see Lex in the DC animated universe.
He's not dead, he didn't explode yet.
Well, he did in this universe, perhaps. So, but yeah, Lex he's a little craftier, I think, in the regular universe.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. Yeah. This could be just a different Lex with a different skill set.
Maybe he's gotten lax because he's just sitting around like, whatever, Superman's on my side, it doesn't matter. I know, Brian shaking his head at me. I came up with that at the last second.
Let me ask you this. Do you think this episode takes place in the near future of Superman the Animated Series, or that the timeline diverged sometime in the recent past, and that this is happening at the same time as the like is this a Superman who's slightly older than our Superman?
Yeah, that's why he's got the little crow's feet. I don't know. I don't
think so.
No, I think it's the
things
same.
Diverged in the past. Yeah.
I mean, they say it like, like she died a year ago or whatever, and that could still be relative to their time or whatever. But no, I've always thought it was happening at the same time, and because when Superman's like, I didn't realize that I loved you until you were gone, essentially, because they haven't had really any sort of development besides like occasional tiny flirting and stuff like that. They're not like in love with each other, and this episode kind of is the, I don't know, spark for like maybe there could be more. I saw that apparently we loved each other in this other place or whatever. So yeah.
And Lois just comes right out the gate. It's like, let's go get dinner.
Yeah, let's go fuck. She goes back to the normal universe. She's like, let me see your penis. Show me right now.
She's like, Superman, I want to go to, air quotes, dinner right now.
Yeah, on the rooftop.
if that's the best way to save the world from a fascist overlord.
Yeah, that's true.
Like maybe she realizes like, I've got to do my part.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I would...
Like if you go back in time and date Hitler before he... No, I'm just... Let's not go there. I'm sorry. Look,
we're leaving the penis in, but we're cutting the Hitler.
That's what she said.
I can't make that the subtitle in any form.
No, not at all. You can't.
Brian, you've talked before about that you lean a lot into story over animation, or story over visuals or whatever, whereas I'm sort of backwards from that. But I also do appreciate the story a lot more in this one than some of the other episodes. Is that something that you felt this whole time? Like, you didn't have a lot of, as we were watching, commentary like normal. You were pretty much watching the episode, which I always take as a good sign.
Is he paying attention? Is he entertained?
Oh shit, he likes this one.
Yeah. I mean, it was great, and I think these are the sort of things that I'm like, this is what makes a great episode for me. I could have used better animation, sure, but it's not make or break for me.
Yeah.
It's just when it's really bad, it's distracting. And this was just like, it's been better, and kind of that's it.
I mentioned like stiffness in the animation. I think that kind of two specific moments were the worst with that for me were Angela Chen on the street was a little bit just like a puppet, like mannequin woman moving around for some reason. Like she barely had fluidity to her. And then also Mercy and Lois fighting in Lex's office. The two different times where one of them kicks the other one were both very like, the perspective was really wonky and the motion of the kick was really weird and like, what just happened? Or
oh
like,
my God, when she went like running kind of back around beside Lois.
Yeah, and then she covered like
her?
30 feet in 2 seconds, and then her leg just comes like swiftly to the foreground and knocks her over, and I'm like, where are you standing in this room?
Her leg grows 30 feet or 20 feet anyway as she kicks, and little Stretch Armstrong
plastic man. Yeah.
Did you catch like just a couple seconds before that this extreme close-up of Mercy's face?
Yeah, the eye squinting thing.
It looked... To me, it looked like ultra detailed too.
Yeah, like a SpongeBob close up or whatever.
or like the Batman anime series intro where he squints his eyes.
Yeah. Well, Batman had a handful of those like super close ups on characters that were actually paintings instead of animated moments. This wasn't that, but it did have that same kind of vibe of like, oh, why am I seeing so many eyelashes and so many or whatever?
Right. Yeah. It felt a little jarring to me.
When Lois kicked and tripped her, Mercy, it just made me think of, since it's the same voice actress as Andrea Beaumont, the like Miss So-and-so's self-defense class for girls as she like kicks over Mercy onto the ground.
Yeah. Lois had a lot of stuff to do this episode. When she got the gun, she took the gun from Mercy and shot the tire off the police car.
Lois is the most adept character in this whole episode. She's just like normally people are like shooting, like there's a machine gun like in a helicopter being shot at Lois, which by the way, she catches a bullet to the ankle and is just like, ow, dude, really? But otherwise, like, they're shooting hundreds of bullets at her. She shoots 3 at the helicopter and knocks out its searchlight. She shoots, I think, also 3 or maybe 4 times and shoots out the police tire. Like, she's just like,
are they bullets or laser? Is it a laser gun?
This might be
I feel like it's a laser stun gun, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I know that Jimmy catches one in the shoulder and he's fine, but that looked a little more lasery to me.
I do like when she's climbing around on the statue. First of all, when you mentioned, Ted, in your synopsis, how there's a statue and then there's also a bigger statue. When she's walking up to the like 7-foot tall head statue, I thought this was way bigger. Isn't there a scene where she's like climbing on this? And then later they're like, oh, there is a bigger one. But when she's up there...
Always a bigger fish.
Yeah, she's like standing on Superman's nostril and he has like a sphinx nose, like a perfectly rectangular, like a wall she can hide behind. So that was a little weird. And then my second thought in that moment was like, the helicopter... you can move, right? Like, you don't have to just hover in that same spot. She's behind the nose. We can't get her. What do we do? Move. Go around and get her from the other side. Or one of the other 6 helicopters that are up there.
It's just one of those like carnival rides that like shoots you up and down really fast. Like it can move, but it can only go up and down.
It's on like a rod sticking out from the statue. It can't actually go anywhere else. Yeah.
Gotta pick the nose. It reminded me a little bit of North by Northwest, the Hitchcock movie, where they have the final sequence on Mount Rushmore and climbing around the heads. Yeah.
Which I think Brian was like subconsciously thinking of maybe, or you were also thinking of Emperor's New Groove maybe, where they're like dangling on the
it was Emperor's New
coming
Groove
out of the nose. Yeah. Running along it. Yeah. That's what should have been happening.
Yeah, it's a little zany, but
how did she like scale the whole thing? Because I feel like someone said she's in the monument as if she's like climbing up the inside of it, like maybe there's stairs, it's hollowed out, but then she's just suddenly on the outside of it. Like, where was the door she came out of? I don't know.
There must have been some kind of balcony.
Yeah,
and then she climbed up from there. I don't know. I didn't catch it.
I don't know either. Yeah,
I don't know, but it was kind of amazing that she's just like, this like polished concrete surface. I can climb that. I could climb a cheek. Yeah. I could climb Lex's bald ass head.
Yeah.
In heels.
Yeah. My God, dude. I'm and she only has like that one slip. I'm like, oh, she's gonna fall off Alexa's head and Superman's gonna catch her. No. She like slips and like
I'm fine. Yeah.
Spider-Man stops herself and then like Spider-Man climbs her way back up Lex's bald ass head.
That's why she wins the Pulitzers.
Yeah.
It's the spider fingers. Yeah. I think like, I don't know, as someone who has consumed a ton of Superman media since this episode, it's hard not to compare this to all the other like instances of like Superman, but he's evil, like kind of stuff that happens. Maybe you're not familiar with any of that, Brian, but there's like the Injustice video games. Are you familiar with those? The kind of Mortal Kombat DC fighting games.
Yeah, I've seen my friends play them.
That's set in like a universe where Aaron pushes a car really loudly across the surface. It's set in a universe where the Justice League is all like evil and Superman's evil and all this stuff.
And Superman went evil because Lois was killed in that universe. Yeah. I believe killed by Joker and Harley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is also what happened in Kingdom Come. Which is another... So Superman didn't go evil in that, but he...
It's not a certainty, but yeah.
He kind of retired early.
But there's kind of a running theme in pop culture of like, oh, Superman, like so overpowered, so boring, but like he'll only be an interesting character if we make him a bad guy or whatever. And I do feel like unfortunate that I do think it works pretty well in this episode in terms of like, so far, normal Superman, has not been like extremely interesting of a character. He's done some cool stuff, but like some snarky, intelligent things. But otherwise, he's just kind of been there so far. Whereas this guy's got like a lot going on and a lot of history and a lot of emotion to him and stuff. Enough to make Lois kiss him first, But I think it's like, you can sort of relate to, he has like a real big problem that happened in his life instead of like everything's, this is not me saying that I agree that Superman's only interesting if he's bad or in a tough situation or whatever. But I think that it's an interesting way to start out we will see this again. We will see versions of Superman.
It's a trope.
Yeah.
I do like it though. Like, and I think the same way you're saying, there's more like emotional depth to it. Rather than just like, I was raised on a farm in Kansas and I'm like pretty strong.
We just haven't seen our normal Superman go through any shit yet, basically. Like he's just kind of had to stop the guy and then he stops the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's fair. But yeah, so for me, this definitely was a stronger episode because of that depth and dimension. And it was kind of honestly a little bit shocking to go back to like, Lois, I'm here. Grab my hand. This is my new Superman voice, I guess.
I'm
Lois,
the Frog.
I'm reaching through this portal. Just come on. We gotta
super the man here.
And then
who was that guy you were just kissing? Who's that?
He looked a lot like me.
I'm just gonna sit in this gimp suit in the corner of the room. Is that okay?
I mean, do you think I'd look good in black, Lois? All black?
Shiny black.
I don't think I could pull it off. I'm just going to carry my baby blanket instead.
Suck my thumb, go over here. I don't know. I think like we'll definitely connect more to Superman later. I've always felt that way, but it's never too late. I thought this episode was it's never too late. I thought this episode was a lot later in the show for that reason, because I feel like Ted was saying, is there's many things with Luthor and Lois and every other supporting character in his world where it's like, oh yeah, like Superman has a relationship with these people and he can, Luthor is like causing a bunch of problems for him and all this stuff. Whereas so far, most of these relationships the Superman has had with these people have been pretty like surface level. For some reason, I remember this being later in the show in that we get to see more of that. And then, what would have happened if there was this little bit of a difference? Oh, man, it's so different. Instead of just like, this is really different. There's a lot of stuff going on over here.
Yeah, it takes everything to the extremes, all the emotional payoffs for everybody, really.
Yeah.
Especially Lex.
Should we mention that the opening scene, Superman shows up to stop those guys, and there's another bald guy among the gang, and every time that you see him, Brian went, is that like, I think the first time you thought it actually was Lex, like you were like, why is Lex among these
you like saw the dude's
guys?
Profile and chin, and I was like, that
just
like
bald guy,
but like big chin and nose, and it was just like, oh, Lex.
Which, there's the common misconception that Estes Lex is black just because of the way he's drawn or whatever. So there was just a bunch of like, every time you'd see that guy, you're like, this is just Lex. Like, why? This is Lex, right? Like, you were just saying that the whole time. But I'm like, no, this is not Lex. And then as soon as Lex Luthor showed up, Lois said some comment about like, of course you'd be the only thing that's not different or whatever. Like, not according to the last 5 minutes of conversation. But
my untrained eye says they are exactly the same person.
This might be something you're going to get to in trivia, but the symbol, Superman's like SS symbol in this world is like something we see in the comics a lot too. Mm-hmm. There's specifically a character called Overman.
Yep,
who's
I do
from
have
a parallel. You do? Okay, then
no.
No? Okay.
Comic guy.
So, Overman's from, I forget which Earth number, but he's from a parallel world where, I think it's, Earth 10, yeah. But it's where the Nazis won World War II and have now, been in charge of the world, basically.
So when Superman's rocket lands, it's in a Nazi-occupied world, essentially. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so he's raised to be fascist, and his symbols... I think it has the double S in this version. Yeah. But not too much spoiler territory, but there's also a comic book that ties in with the animated Justice League series. And I'm going to tiptoe around the spoilers here, but there's a moment where Lois meets Overman, and she's like, you remind me of another version of Superman that I met
that had this same symbol.
Calling back to Brave New Metropolis. So I always thought that
when that comic was coming out a couple of years ago, and we were doing like a new video on each issue, we were like, holy shit, is it that one from Brave New Metropolis? Like, are they going to do that? But then that's the entire connection, is just Lois going, you look like the other guy. It doesn't need to be him, but I mean, at the end of this episode, it also, they just kind of leave him standing there sadly, and you wonder what happens with him next. So yeah. Where does he go from here? I mean,
all he wanted to do is give the world order and tranquility, But so you got to wonder then, like, does he allow democracy to come back, or does he, like, without Luthor, is he maybe more like, well, now that the evil part of my partnership is gone, maybe I can be a good fascist and still control everyone.
I bet he would go more democratic.
There's not good fascists. Let me underline that.
I would assume he sees the error of his ways, and yeah.
I mean, so
that's what Aaron thinks of fascism.
Or what if he?
Let's echo that.
What if he tries to travel to another dimension? He's like, oh, well, there's other dimensions, there's other Loises. What if I can find one where Superman dies and Lois is all alone? So then he goes on like a Rick and Morty bender.
Right. Yeah. Yes. I'll just replace that guy. Yeah.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, I'll mention the cast real quick. Again, this is another one where everyone's returning except the last person. Well, actually, they're returning also, but not the same character. Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent in 2 different universes. Dana Delaney as Lois Lane. Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor. Lisa Edelstein as Mercy Graves, Victor Brandt as Professor Hamilton, David Kaufman as Jimmy Olsen, Lauren Tom as Angela Chen, Joseph Bologna as Dan Turpin, and then last we have Tress McNeil as Revolutionary, who is, I think, the lady coming up and being like, Jim, what's going on, Jim? I call you Jim now in this universe. That's what she said. She was previously Woman in Time Out of Joint, Falling Down the Stairs, Miss Stevenson in Lasac, Tour Guide in A Little Piece of Home, Little Boy in Holiday Nights, and Curator in Mix Yes Pixelated. Yeah.
I bet she's also the woman who lost her baby. And you do see a split second at the end of the episode where they're reunited.
Yeah. So Lex Luthor crashes into the statue, and there's like rubble and dirt falling.
There's big
and
chunks of concrete falling. Everyone's there, and then a baby walks out of stage right.
Yeah, I like Brian had a comment whenever they're like, "Take that kid to the LexCorp orphanage," and you're like, "The LexCorphanage?" And then we're like, "Where did that baby come from?" At the end of the episode, like the LexCorphanage, of course. Like, he was just right off screen. Yeah.
No, I mean that was definitely there for people like me who was just like, "What's this random woman asking about her baby the whole time?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, at least there's closure. There's closure for that. All right."
She gets the baby back. It's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Trivs here. The title of the episode is inspired by Aldous Huxley's The Brave New World, a novel set in a futuristic world state where citizens are environmentally engineered into an intelligence-based social hierarchy. The novel anticipates huge scientific advancements in reproductive technology, sleep learning, psychological manipulation, and classical conditioning that are combined to make a dystopian society which is challenged by the story's protagonist.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I know, big words.
A lot of that happened to Superman from Lex. And I was going to bring that up, but I knew you were going to bring it up in trivia.
Yeah. Have you read that?
No, I have not read
that.
Okay. Aware of it.
This episode was included as an Alan Burnett's Top Picks bonus cartoon on the Blu-ray release of the non-DCAU 2013 direct-to-video animated feature Superman vs. the Elite. Sometimes these movies will just have like special feature DCAU episodes tacked on as like also check these out. These are similar concepts or whatever. So I thought that was
they are, because the Elite is another kind of like fascist team. Like the Elite's based off the Authority. And if you're the Authority, you're calling yourself the Authority. That's that's pretty fascist.
But yeah, no, I think that's fun that this is an Alan Burnett top pick because it definitely sticks out as like one of the better episodes of the show. Again, I wish it was a TMS one just for some of the stuff, but I think that's just going to be my song the entire show now is wishing that every episode. I remember hearing from some of the producers in the past, like when we've talked to Dan and stuff like that, about like them wishing that every episode was TMS or that they could have gotten them more often and stuff like that. But then I always thought like, oh, weird. Like I remember thinking all the Dong Yang episodes were like the best episodes as a kid for some reason. And then because I'm the kid that paid attention to that because I'm a nerd. But then now going back and watching this, I think it was probably because as a child trying to learn how to draw in the style of these like Bruce Timm character designs and stuff, I think the Dong Yang episodes, the Coco episodes, they still get the model sheetness of it all better than TMS does. But then TMS just like puts the really well done anime filter on top of that, and it's like so much more cool to look at nowadays. Like I just wish everything was it, you know.
Yeah.
The van that Superman blows up features reused footage from My Girl, specifically the scene in which Mr. Elon blows up a vat of hot lead. Likewise, when the motor of Luthor's jets catches fire, the ensuing explosion is reused footage from the gas canisters that Superman ignites in the way of all flesh. I think that those are not caught by the other people's trivia every time. I think there's plenty of other explosions that are reused explosions at this point, but
I don't understand how you catch that. Like,
I know.
How do you memorize an explosion?
There's one near the beginning of the movie that we just did a video on, Ted. That is used throughout Justice League like over and over and over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that one I just know by heart, but I don't personally catch these like Superman ones as often, but occasionally I'll be like, oh, yep, there goes a piece of the Toyman's little bomb toys or whatever when it wasn't supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. I guess you just gotta know. I mean, there's only so many explosions and they're going to reuse them.
Yeah. Somehow it's easier than doing it again, I guess. After Luthor runs away, some of the Resistance members go after him, including an old man. However, after Lois trips Mercy, some of the Resistance members, including the old man, surround her. So he runs off after Luthor and then goes, I'm too old, I can't catch this guy, and comes back.
Well, I was surprised that Lex just kind of like makes a break for it and everyone just sort of watches him.
And then like, runs after him. Yeah.
Really?
Give him some space. Now go. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 okay, let's go.
Yeah. first time Lois kisses Superman, albeit an alternate dimension version of him. There's been times where they've been close, but they haven't kissed yet. Jimmy's Rebel Squad attacks LexCorp Research at 9th and Ross, a reference to Pete Ross, who in the original comics was Superman's best friend as a boy and the first person to discover his secret identity. I think he was in Little Son of Krypton.
Elsac.
Yeah, Elsac. Little San F Krypton. I can hear what so-and-so's saying to Jenny over there in the corner or whatever.
I just Googled it. Yeah, he was.
That's his teeny tiny cameo. Last I've got the S worn by an alternate Superman based on the logo of the Schutzstaffel, a major paramilitary organization under Adolf Hitler. That's how you say it. You got to put the little accent in it.
It's not subtle.
No. Later throughout German-occupied Europe during World War II. And then, I had the Overman bit and the Justice League Infinity bit after that Ted said. Keen, FX.
Ted, we know you got something.
So my favorite was the portal at the end, like with Superman coming out. I just like the lighting of it, just the way he's lit and ushering Lois back to the regular universe. I thought that was cool.
There are some explosions, but clearly they're reused explosions, so they don't count. I think that is the main keen effect in this, is that there were some cool lighting choices, too, with Superman walking out of the shadows, even though it doesn't make any sense why he would be in shadow on top of a open to the sky thing, and then why it took him until he walked out of the shadow to know that was Lois standing there, but whatever.
I mean, he's so tired. His multiple visions aren't working as well.
Yeah.
Look, and
he needs his glasses.
It's just the really dark shadows, too.
What if he had that? Like, he does still wear his Clark Kent glasses in this one, and she just goes, wait a fucking second. Realizes it the whole time. I mean, it would have been interesting. I had that thought, like, when they're sitting in maybe it's like Superman's apartment or whatever, where he's like tying his shoes and whatever they're doing in the chair. She's wrapping her leg up and stuff. And he's just telling her all the details about, like, this thing happened, you died, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, like, what if he just dropped, like, I had to quit my job at the Daily Planet, and like, you're what? I've just fucked over the other Superman, but oh well.
I was honestly, like, a part of me was kind of waiting for and wanting that when Lois is like between the two Supermans and looking back. And I kind of wanted the air quotes evil Superman to be like, I'm Clark Kent.
By the way, just from the back of the room. Goodbye, Clark. Other Clark. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Lois, you've made me a very happy Clark Kent, also known as Superman.
He kisses her, and wait a second, that's how Clark Kent goes around town kissing people. He must be Superman. Superman's powers. Did he have any new powers, new weaknesses? Not
Fascism.
Really. He had kryptonite, the power of fascism.
I know y'all talked a couple episodes ago about his super forgetful kiss. This was not one of those, since Lois remembers this adventure in the comic. He did not kiss her.
Yeah.
This time.
Just regular kiss. Yeah.
No, I didn't catch any new powers. Because I'm a listener of the podcast, and I remember all the powers you've talked about already.
Oh yeah? We'll list them right now.
Dreidel power, hot vision,
hot look,
hot look,
aka Superman's eye glue, aka look and shave.
Yes.
Selective dog listening.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I think.
Yeah.
Or Superman's bifocal spectacular is another good one.
That one's pretty good too.
We just added one last episode that you won't have heard yet. Condiment secretion. Where he can both form a condom over his body and he can spit ketchup. So
wow.
You'll understand, or you won't.
That's a power set.
It sure is.
This is why he's the greatest superhero.
I know. Yeah, I don't think we can add anything new to this other than the power of fascism. The capacity for fascism.
the Iron Fist.
How strong 1 through 10 in this?
Oh,
not that strong. He was pretty. No. He got walked over and manipulated and taken advantage of.
He was very tired.
Yeah, and even like trying to he's like doing the whole Lex is on his like hover bike or whatever, like, you know, Lex is doing like these evasive maneuvers with his plane thing. And Superman's like struggling and he's like trying to hold on. It's like, bro, you can fly. Fly. You caught up to it.
He's tired.
He's tired. He's so sleepy.
But yeah, that's he's like struggling and he like, you know, rips open the hatch, but then he only kind of like by happenstance rips off some of the pieces of the plane when he's like flinging off the back end.
The wallpaper on the outside of the plane that he accidentally peels off and it explodes.
Yeah.
He throws off you know, the desk, and he breaks down a door.
Yeah. I'll give him 2.6 bricks that Jimmy throws at him.
I'll be a little more generous to give him 3 SS symbols.
Schutzstaffels out of 10.
Which I guess would be 6. That's 6. Hold on. One and a half Schutzstaffels.
There you go.
I'm gonna go kind of in the middle of your 2.6 and your 3, and I'm gonna give him a 2.8 orphans wandering the streets alone out of 10.
Lex Corphans, yeah.
I don't like to think about that 0.8 of an orphan.
Where'd the rest go? Oh God.
It shot off his ankle.
Where's Clayface? He's the big statues?
Or he's got to be. I think, yeah.
He's the rubble of the statues falling off toward people.
He's the brick. He's the brick that Jimmy throws.
He's the brick. He's Jimmy Olsen's brick.
When Jimmy throws the brick, it kind of splats on Superman. He goes, "What?" And then there's just eyeballs in a mouth. Okay.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. Baldarchy.
Love it.
I think it's got to be Lex. There's no other.
Not just
Lex.
Lex
statue.
Yes, it's the Lex statue that Lois almost slides off. Specifically.
Was that antagonistic because it was keeping her? It almost killed her.
Yeah. It almost killed her. It almost killed the people when it was crumbling. Like that thing was doing some damage.
It was a lot closer to killing her than Lex was.
Yeah, okay. Lex statue. Got it.
Yeah. Easy. No contest.
The Lex we saw probably had hair at some point in time. That statue never had hair.
Never
hair.
Never ever.
No, never will.
Well, except for the other half of its head, the back of its head. The Superman half.
Oh no!
Had
You're right.
They were conjoined a bit there.
They were conjoined, yeah.
Books or hip hop?
Hip hop.
I mean, I'm going to say books because it's based on a book.
I'm going to say books too. But we can have different answers. Like that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, hip hop for the I don't know. It's just sleek and leathery.
Just like hip hop.
Hey Ted, what's your favorite genre of hip hop? Sleek and leather.
Jimmy's brick. Jimmy and the brick coming at you live.
Oh my God! Wait, you're right.
It was all leading up to this.
Wait. That's mind blowing.
On the road with Jimmy and the brick.
Nice.
That was the thing. Like what, 30 or 40 or 50 episodes ago?
At least, yeah.
And now we literally have Jimmy and a brick. Oh, can we get a printout of this for the podcast and like have like a nice little poster?
Redraw our characters.
That's called a callback.
That is a callback and a half.
I mean, it is pretty indicative of our roles on this podcast. I have a shitty facial hair and red hair, and then you're just a brick.
You're basically an inanimate object. Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, you're just kind of here with me. Yeah, and along for the ride, throwing you at Superman. That's basically what we're doing with these episodes. Top 10, Brian and Ted. Let's go with you first.
Remind me of my top 10.
So far, you have number 8, deep freeze. Are you putting this above or below, and what number?
Yes, I will put it above at number 4.
4, got it.
So I have to fill in the gaps here at some point.
It's funny. We started off with like giving people like, well, this is your number 1. With our guests, and then now there's not a single guest who has a normal number. We got Dylan has number 1 bullet with the bullock. Number 3, Holiday Nights. Number 5, Fun and Games. And 11, Christmas with the Joker.
Keen Machine has a number 1.
Keen Machine's got number 1, but that's
the only one he's done. Yeah.
Dan Reba's got 2 unnumbered, Riddler's Reform, Blast from the Past, and then number 10 is Zatanna. Joe has...
You can't ask Dan Reba to rate his own episodes.
I mean, we have.
Well, we can and we will.
we got Joe with Demon's Quest Part 1 at number 3, Demon's Quest Part 2 at number 4, 5 question mark as Where Does Avatar Go? And number 27 is
We'll Never Know.
Pixelated. We just talked about 10s, and Alex Robson from the BTAS podcast is number 1,414 is The Lion and the Unicorn.
Which I will say is because he asked me to put it as the number from Frederick's code in that episode. So I had to go off screen, figure that out. Yeah.
And then
1414.
And then he's got number 431 as action figures. And Jordan Blumen as well only has 1, Speed Demons.
Now, what about you two? Where does it fall in yours?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do think this is a really well-written episode and a really a good concept, and it's...
Oh, he's going to put it at number 8.
See, here's the thing, man. It doesn't strike me as I can't wait to watch that again. Such a fun, good episode. And it's not meant to be fun, of course, but it's just I don't know, maybe this is blasphemy or whatever, but it's not going to be as high as some... I think I'm going to put it above My Girl, though. So that's at number 6 now. It's under Main Man Part 2, so it's still not as good as Lobo. But that kicks feeding
Lobo
time
fan
off
will
of
be
my
happy
list.
to hear that.
Yes, exactly. Lobo Boy Fanboy 420.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've got Mix Yes Pixelated, bottom to top here. Mix Yes Pixelated, Double Dose, Speed Demons, My Girl, Brave New Metropolis, Main Man Part 2, Little Piece of Home, 2's a Crowd, Wave of Flesh, Lasak, Parts 10 through 30.
It's a really long episode.
Excellent.
I know.
So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a divergence here, Jamie. I'm not gonna put it on the list at all. Shitty episode. I hated it.
Oh man, that was opposite what I thought you were gonna say.
No, actually, I was going through. I was reading some synopses because Jamie, I still need to do that.
Oh yeah, for the Supermans,
the slightly quickie cheat sheet. But I'm gonna put this at number 3. I'm putting this between A Little Piece of Home and Two's a Crowd.
That also kicks feeding time off of your list.
It does.
We both had feeding time at the bottom. Yeah.
Boom. Okay, our list is starting to diverge a little bit.
Is it better than any BTAS on your Yop 10s list? Put it above A Bullet for Bullock or Harley's Holiday or Beware the Grey Ghosts?
No.
You don't have any Superman on your Yop 10, do you?
He doesn't, no.
No?
I have Way of All Flesh at number 10. He has Holiday Nights at number 10. So that kicked something off. Joker's Favor, I think, was on there before, and I kept telling him, that doesn't make sense, Brian. You need to fix this.
I'm gonna highlight this one on your Yop 10 there, Jamie, and remind
on
you.
On Leather Wings? What? Such a good episode, Brian. You're missing out.
I do want to rewatch it and then be even more hateful of it in the future.
Yeah, I know. I know it's not gonna. I feel like that's we should just watch that. The last thing that we do. We've finished everything else and we watch On Leather Wings one more time.
It's a nice bookend. It's always a nice bookend. Ended with Batman flying by a blimp.
Yeah.
Just like the way it started.
That's like the way it started. But I know that it's only number 2 on Jamie's list. Wait, 2, 3?
Yeah, 2.
Because of that whole the 3D animation over the blimp. Who cares? They fly
really
by
cool.
shit all the time. So it's a blimp this time.
See, this is where we diverge, right? It's whatever. People have been listening. They know it.
Blimps are cool, and they never should have stopped doing them. I don't care.
Top 10.
Don't care about the Hindenburg.
If I could go back in time and kiss Hitler.
This is a little too similar to the beginning of the episode where we're just a little so on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, we've made a lot of hot takes in this episode.
I'm just saying, blimps would have been real cool if the Hindenburg
Hindenburg hot takes.
Yeah. Blimps are cool. They are, but they're
I like
super
a good
cool.
Zeppelin.
Impractical.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a blimp and a Zeppelin, Brian?
The spelling.
One's made of lead.
Yeah, I get what you're doing. Okay, we do go to the future. We do some mail. We'll come back. We'll talk about what the next episode is, and Brian has to guess what it's about. And it's a good title. It's a good one to guess. You might not get it.
Hey, Yoppie dudes. This is Boss Biggest here to tell you that there's no mail this week because Brian's in, am I reading this right? Hawaii, or some place I've never heard of. It's way outside Box Canyon, and it's quite an inconvenience for him to come around here and read a bunch of Dylan Polak over and over and over. So we're so sorry about that or whatever. We'll do, it says here, double mail next week. I think they mean McDouble. Or what were those called at KFC back in the day? The double down. That was where it was like a sandwich, but the buns were chicken also. I had like 17 of those a day. So this bit has lasted too long already. Back to the podcast. Have a good week, I guess. I'm a bad guy. Have a bad week. I don't know. I
have a cough drop in my mouth. The next episode, Brian.
Yes.
Now, do you want me to you've been jumping ahead. Do you want me to tell you the name before you guess if it's Batman or Superman, or do you just want to give a 50-50 no matter what?
Let's try this one. Give me the name.
Okay. It's called Monkey Fun. Ted's already like, fuck.
I mean, I know it, but
yeah.
Monkey Fun?
No hints.
Monkey Fun.
Is it Batman?
No.
God damn it!
I knew he was gonna guess Batman too.
Yeah. What do you think Monkey Fun's about? Yeah.
Because you'd think Batman would have a harder time dealing with a monkey.
He'd have fun. He'd just have fun with
it. It was
monkey.
Like the location thing. It's the what was the Batman Jungle episode?
Tigress stuff? Tiger.
Tiger. Yeah. And I was like, it just seemed more practical.
There was a monkey in that. There was a monkey man named Garth.
That's true.
Man, you guys are good at this.
Remember Dick's Out for Garth? Dick's Out for Garth? You don't remember that?
Yes. How could I forget? I need to go back and listen to our old stuff.
Yeah.
Monkey
Fun.
It's a Superman episode.
This is another along the same lines of saying like, oh yeah, common trope for Superman, bad guy is Superman. Whereas like DC Comics just has like a million monkey characters for some reason. And Aaron really wants to tell you
There is a reason, and I'll tell you why after he guesses.
Oh, right.
Okay. Is there a space monkey involved?
Oh my God, there is.
Yeah!
That's crazy.
Holy shit.
That is so specific and close.
How? How did you do that?
Yes.
Look, the monkey does not originate in space, but you're right on it.
Jamie,
yeah.
Fucking space monkey.
The reason why there's so many monkeys in DC Comics and Superman is the old editor-in-chief Carmine Infantino had a thing. Like, he had a list of like, these things will make comic books sell better. And putting an ape on the cover of a comic book would make the comic sell better. Like, they had the data to back it up.
What?
So there were a lot of monkeys in comics.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of monkey characters over time.
Have you guys done a video on that yet?
No.
We should.
You should.
We could. In the DCAU.
Yeah. There was even a crossover in the Justice League. I think it was like 1998. There was So comic books would put out a thing called an annual, which was like a special oversized book. Like, so once a year they would have the special annual issue. And so it was like JLA, Green Lantern, Batman, Aquaman, The Flash, all their annual books had a crossover called JL Ape, where they all turn into monkeys. And so every book is the main character is a monkey.
Please do. Wait, here's the thing. We got to test we got to have like a scientific method thing here and see if it's still valid. Do a monkeys in the DCAU video, and you better put a monkey on the thumbnail. And if that's your
why wouldn't you?
best view, I mean, but still, like
it shoots to the top.
That's the thing. If you get like 10 million views in the first week, it's like, okay, we got to do monkeys. This is the monkey podcast now.
What we've learned from how a video just passed 1 million views.
Congrats, by the way. I saw that.
Thank you. Is that the all we got to do is make sure that it has a words in the thumbnail that make you think it says something gay.
It says like new, but people read it as like men. But it says like new.
What?
There are infinite comments that are like, I totally read this as like men.
Too many dyslexic viewers.
Wow. Or apparently just enough.
Yeah. So if it's just a picture of a big monkey and it says like men,
or like, we're gonna have a lot of blowback though, because people really get upset when you call a chimpanzee a monkey.
It's true.
Like they are very different things.
Apes too. Yeah.
We should go ahead and just apologize to the monkey community, because we are going to group them together.
You just write the word simian, and then people will beat us like seamen? Question mark?
Perfect. There you go.
I thought the thumbnail said semen. I think we figured it out. Yeah. Well, what's the Ted? Would you say that the monkey, the titular monkey in Monkey Fun, is a monkey? I think he might be an ape.
Yeah, this is one of those instances where I think he's not technically a monkey.
Yeah.
So I was wrong.
I mean, the title was misleading. Right. The title says Monkey Fun, not Chimpanzee Fun or Ape Fun.
Whatever it is. Yeah. But we'll find out together next time
when we watch Apes in Space.
Apes in Space. Super the man here.
Technically a chimp. I just Googled it.
I am really looking forward to this.
Look, it's a big rock, a big asteroid that has a giant gorilla duct taped to it. And Superman has to punch him off of there. And he goes, oh, down. This is a Promethean reference, you see. It's the same thing.
So funny.
Thank you.
Before you go, I want to say I've had a lot of fun, Brian. It's always a pleasure. And I look forward to the next one.
I look forward to you moving to Oregon so we can all actually like hang out more.
Yeah, Ted.
I have not put that out in the world that I am moving to Oregon. That is not on my to-do list, but I appreciate the invitation.
Now. And if you don't do it by 30 episodes from now, then you don't get to come back.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
It's always a blast to hang out with you, Ted. And I feel like we had a lot of giggles when we were doing all that courtroom stuff.
Yes, we
slightly
did.
Smaller bus. So happy to have you on here, and I hope we can get you. We got to get you on here for more than 6.
I would have loved to attend the live screening. I wish you all the best on the live event. I will be there in my heart, and look forward to listening to it later.
We'll have lots of Dylan Pollocks in the crowd, and they'll go, "Boo! Where's Ted?"
I mean, Dylan Pollock
would be here.
Dylan's your only listener, you know.
I mean, that's true. He will be the only person. We got to do some sort
of
one
chair.
Nothing but sock puppet
we thought you were joking. We just thought Dylan was coming.
What if we get cardboard cutouts of Dylan? And like for however many empty chairs there are, we just fill them with Dylan.
That's a worthy of all of our money to make like 50 cardboard cutouts of Dylan for all the chairs. If you show up, you get a free Dylan Pollock standee, and you can take it home.
Honestly, you could just get a bunch of cardboard boxes, cut them into like head shapes, put them in the crowd, and just draw little smiley faces on them. And that's kind of what he looks like, to be honest.
Can you send in your drawing of what you think Dylan Pollock looks like, if you could?
I love that. We'll post them on social media. Do it.
Yeah, the winners of the contest. Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but I have met Dylan. I've talked to Dylan.
Oh my God.
Person to person.
What's he like?
Honestly,
what does he taste like?
He's fine.
I bet he smells great.
I think so. Yeah.
He's all right.
Well, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Ted, for being here and doing this crazy shit that we had to work around. But,
you're very welcome. It was a brave new podcast.
It sure was.
Oh, Ted, you want to give a shout out about your newsletter or anything?
Yeah, my plugs.
Yeah.
Let me plug myself here.
Look, the Tim Talk podcast isn't on anymore, so we can totally just steal their Bat Plugs segment.
So I do have a newsletter, but I have a website where you can find the newsletter. It's tedkendrick.com. Very easy to remember. I do a lot of filmmaking. I'm making some comics also right now. I'm a writer producer for the Watchtower database. And if you are in the Southeast, I have a short film playing at a film festival in Greenville, South Carolina on March 22nd. It's in the Reedy Reels Film Festival. So if you want to come out to that and meet me and watch my silly little short film comedy, it's called Foresight. It does have a DCAU voice actor in it.
It does.
Susan Eisenberg, who's the voice of Wonder Woman. Spoilers, Brian, Wonder Woman comes into the DCAU.
I don't know if you knew this.
I am aware.
Yep. She's in a little show called Justice League. But yes, she was awesome. She was in my movie. So yeah, if you're in the area, come to Reedy Reels Film Festival in South Carolina. I'll be there on March 22nd.
When you said March, I was like, don't say 9th, don't say 9th.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And goodbye.
Thank you, listener. You've been great.
I have one critique, not enough sound effects in that episode.
That's a good point. I guess Jamie's had his hands full with a baby, so...
I know. He's making up for it now.
How did he do that so fast?
I feel like I just got my ankles shot off.
Bye.
Star Labs used to be a place for ideas and hope.
It can be again.
But will the people ever trust me again?
It'll take time.
I've got the time. For them and for you.
Lois! Hamilton sent me to bring you back. Hurry, there's not much time.
I never thought I'd lose you. Twice.
Will it change anything?
For me. But not for Metropolis. Not this time.
Lois!
So that was me?
Yes. And no, it's complicated. I could explain it over dinner.
Dinner? Aren't we getting a little personal?
Better now than never.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, Brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Tim Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of The Cat and the Claw Part 2, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.